everybody, welcome back to part 2 of my limited series where I am going through a process of discovery on how certain shapes look on textured hair or curly hair versus how they look on straight hair. So if you missed it, yesterday I did a graduated bob on textured hair on this mannequin, and I did a wash and go style, and I posted the results of that in my stories. Now today what I'm going to do is blow out the hair and flat iron it so we can see what the graduated bob looks like on curly hair versus what it looks like on straight hair. So for me, as I'm trying to develop my skills and kind of master my craft, I felt that I was not making the connection with the technique or elevation of cutting hair and how it translates to what is the result of me elevating at a 45? What is the result of me elevating at a 90 degrees or 180 degree? It wasn't really connecting with me on how that translated on textured hair, on curly hair. So this limited series, if you want to go back and check it out, I have half of it on Instagram, but most of the replays, actually 100% of the replays, you can find it on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead and blow out the mannequin, and then I'm going to clean it up with the scissors. Then I'm going to flat iron it, and then we'll just kind of recap and go over the differences of the finish of the shapes. So I'm going to be using the Oribe Straightaway Blowout Cream to blow dry the hair. The blowout cream, yes, I'm using really good products on the mannequin, but this helps me to get the result that I need. The blowout cream is great for curly to straight transformation. I use it pretty much on all my silk presses because it is a certified thermal protectant, meaning that it's going to protect the hair up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit and 232 degrees Celsius. It has a straightening polymer complex in there that really helps to fight frizz and extend the life of the blowout, okay? Plus that amazing Oribe Signature Complex in there that's really going to help to be with its antioxidant properties, okay? So definitely if you're going to be doing curly to straight transformations, you're going to want to look into this. So now I'm just going to get the hair sectioned off into some manageable sections here. And I really had a good time yesterday. I had so much fun. I'm making so many connections here online with my professional hairstylist community. I think that makes it more fun for me to know that, you know, we're kind of building community around a common interest. So that's always fun. So what I'm doing here is just kind of working the product in on somebody with a guess, maybe with a tighter coil hair. I'd probably go in and section it off into maybe 4, 6, 8 sections, depending on the density, using a detangling brush. Yesterday on my video, I went over the 2 detangling brushes that I am currently using. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and part the hair into 4 sections for now. And you'll find that the sections that I use for styling are very similar, if not identical, to the sections that I use for cutting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the hair out of the way. Also, I just like to work with manageable sections. It helps me to have more control over the hair, especially when you're dealing with curly hair, highly textured hair, tightly coiled hair. You definitely want to keep the hair as manageable as possible, so that helps to reduce the overwhelm, okay? So I was debating whether I would do this part on camera or off camera because it kind of makes the video a little bit long, but I feel like, you know what? Repetition leads to retention, and what I mean by that is like the more you see me do this technique over and over, then you know, the more comfortable you feel with it, or the more confident you feel with the information. And of course, the best way to really get that information in is going to be to practice, practice, practice. So as much as I'm doing this demonstration here for you all to see, this is very good practice for me. I feel stronger, I feel better every single time I do this haircut or I do the techniques. So I'm going in with my Dyson Supersonic Blow Dryer with the concentrator nozzle. I do know that Dyson and a couple other brands have since added the Afro Pick attachment, and I never really was a big fan of the Afro Pick attachment until I started growing out my own hair. So I find that it makes it easier to blow dry my own hair, but it's not an accessory or tool that I reach for when I'm drying my guests. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna just change. I'm taking pretty large sections here. If you want to see a more detailed blowout on my last curly to straight transformation, I took very small sections, and you can definitely go and check out the difference. Or if you want to see another way to dry the hair, definitely check out my YouTube channel for that. One thing I will say is that when I was sectioning the hair yesterday for the wash and go, to put the products on, I saw some irregularities, and you know what? I wouldn't even necessarily call them irregularities, even though they were, because when you cut the hair curly, once you start to blow it out, or once you start to stretch it, as I was manipulating, putting product on there, I noticed that, you know, a few bits were just kind of not out of place, but you know, they kind of stretch. I guess that's what gives it that stretched out. That's what gives it that kind of softness, you know. So what I'm going to do now, we're just going to examine the shape of it after it's blown out. Because one of the big mysteries I had also was, how does the curly cut look blown out? Does it make a big difference? And I think it just depends on how severe you go with the technique, right? Like if I dry the hair and then start cutting into it and just like really carving out the shape, that's when I think when you blow it out, that's when you start to see a little bit of an imbalance, or where it looks a little bit uneven. But for the most part, yesterday, I cut the hair using similar techniques as when I cut straight hair, except that I used less tension and I did not use a comb at all. Okay, so I think that when I'm done with this blowout, we're not going to see a lot of short and long pieces, like crazy short and long pieces, like you would begin to see if we did a true curly cut. Also, another reason why I'm doing the blowout on the live or recording it is for us to really just get a sense of time. For 2025, I want to make some adjustments with my appointment time, so I've been really paying attention to how much time each step of the process takes. How long does your consultation take? How long does your shampoo take? How long does the drying take? How long does the cutting take? Because I get that question all the time when, I do my in-salon classes. Part of the challenge with dealing with textured hair is that you need more time. And a lot of salons don't leave a lot of wiggle room when it comes to dealing with textured hair. And for me, for the most part, I think you need at least minimum of 90 minutes. I think 90 minutes, whether you use them all up or not. But for the most part, I feel like you are gonna, between the cutting, the styling, the drying, a minimum of 90 minutes. And we'll see how much I get done right here on the live, because it's not like a time lapse or like it's sped up. I'm also going to challenge myself to work a little faster. The cut is pretty much already done. I'll probably just resection it and go through each section just to check for balance. Is it balance? Is it balance? Is it balance? All right. So I've been on here for about 37 minutes. I was able to cut, blow dry, and now I'm gonna flat iron the hair. Just gonna, actually, let me get the flat iron on, ready to go. That was pretty quick. I think that that's probably the fastest one I've done so far. And I really wanted to get the timing down so that I can help stylists kind of gauge how much time they need for cut and style on textured hair. Probably gonna need my little tiny flat iron, but I don't know if I have that today. I use the Oribe Straightaway Blowout Cream to blow dry the hair. It's a thermal protectant, and now I'm going to be using the Oribe Gold Lush Dry Heat Protection Spray. That's also another layer of thermal protection. I like to add it on every step. A little bit. I'm hoping that the iron is not too big because I really don't have time to plug in the other one. Or use it, maybe I do, hold on. All right, I'll plug it in if I need it. Sometimes the mannequin needs that high heat. Actually, I might be able to get away with it with the big one. I can get a little closer since it's a mannequin. I wouldn't do this on a real person. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back with the smaller one. But I'm just so anxious to get to the end result. Oh my gosh. Okay, quick recap. What do we do today? Oh my goodness. So this is part 2 of Graduated Bob on Textured Hair, a limited series where I'm talking about how different techniques like elevation and cutting can contribute to the shape. I was having a hard time making a difference with how the technique, what was the result of the technique on straight hair versus curly hair. So last week I did round. This week I did triangular, which is graduation on textured hair. And today I just kind of cleaned up with the scissors, blew the hair out, made it straight and cleaned it up so that we could now see the before and after of Graduated Bob on straight hair. So if you want to see more of the comparison of the side-by-side, I've been putting the side-by-side in my stories if you're interested in seeing it. If you missed any part of this haircut, don't worry about it. All of the replays are located on my YouTube channel, so make sure you go and check that out. Isn't this gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It looks just as beautiful on textured hair, which you can see that video, as it does on straight hair. But this process is really helping me to make a connection in my head with the techniques, the shapes, and how it looks on textured hair versus how it looks on blown out or flat iron hair. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be posting the end result in my stories, my threads, and in my group. All right, so see you soon. Ciao.